Greetings. Welcome to the second weekly early access update for hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. I'm going to start off as usual with a sound check. Loud sound coming. That wasn't too loud for you. Your volume settings should be good. So what do we got this week? This week has been the week of refinement. I have basically, instead of adding a new gun this week, I've gone back and rewritten about 30% of all of the weapon code in the game. And the reason was to basically migrate a whole bunch of scattered implementations of various features into one place, so that both going forward as we expand from what we got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the Revolver 6 weapons, as we expand that much further, it doesn't become a bug-ridden nightmare to basically build. So what are the ramifications of this change? Well, first off, mag loading is now consistent across all firearms. So if you remember, it used to be the case with the handguns that as soon as you got the tip of the magazine into the weapon, it would sort of lock no matter what angle it was and kind of slide in a non-physical animated way. That is gone. Now when you load a magazine, you're literally just loading the magazine. Same with the way the M4 functions. So it requires a little more precision right out of the gate. You have to be a little more careful in how you line it up. And as you can see right now, as I eject this, every now and again the mag still gets caught in there. Still working on it. But yeah, so one of the cool features, some of you may have seen the GIF vid I posted earlier this week, is that you can slam load magazines because they're now physical through the whole process, and you can also just drop them in like so. Let's see. And if you so chose to, you can even slam load. Oh, let's try that again. It's a little harder because the mag's taller. Boom. Beautiful. Wonderful. We'll get to the other updates on the M4 in a second. I want to talk about the shotgun and the M79. The shotgun has gotten an update insofar as let's put that in the quick belt slot. Let's spawn lock it. And this has been requested by so many folk, is that after we fire it, now when you open the breech with fired shells, they pop right out, which is wonderful, especially if you're, say, let's do a target sequence here. If we put, say, 2 targets, let's put 3 waves, and only give us a couple seconds to do it. It's now actually possible to reload it that fast. So yeah, the M79 functions the same way. Spawn lock that there, put that up there, pop it out, pop a new one in. Helps to actually aim it. Excellent. Now let's to check out the other updates, let's pop over to the other scene, indoor range. So now that we're in the indoor range, let's send our target out to 15 to start. I want to show some changes to the Revolver from this week. Basically, let's load a few in here. You'll notice, by the way, in this scene now, there's now 1 round of each type in this scene. So if you actually want to manually load and reload your mags, you can just take that round and spawn lock it and produce extras. Okay, so I'll probably, just before I push the build tonight, go ahead and pop in an empty mag into this scene. So if you want to do it all yourself by hand, it'll now be possible in this scene. So let's load this sucker up. So as I've been told over this past week, when using a double action revolver, when the hammer is cocked back before firing, the trigger should also come back. and this effectively turns the shot into a hair trigger. And so I've attempted to model this as best as possible with the Vive controller. If you pull the hammer back first by hitting down click on the touchpad, instead of having to pull the trigger all the way back, you barely have to. Which actually makes it's a slower way of firing, but far more accurate. Just because the less your trigger finger has to move, the less the gun is going to move as you're trying to fire. Let's drop that there. Let's clear our score. And now, I've saved the best for last. I'm so happy with how this is working. I'm going to send the target out to 99 feet. And I'm going to pump an optic on the M4. And so, basically, we now have a new version of filtering for grabbing the foregrip here, and I adore it. You'll notice immediately, while I have it grabbed, that I can still move the rifle very rapidly. It no longer floats and lags behind, but check out this difference for looking down the optic. So I'm going to do it without the foregrip first. I'm going to hold this as steadily as I can. You can still fair amount of jitter there. I'm going to hold it out a bit, which might be a little more stable. Not really. I'm going to grab the foregrip now. I am in love with this. So please try this out this week. Tell me what you think. As long as you guys dig it, I think I'm going to adopt this as my primary filtering method for all two-handed weapons, because it seems to be the perfect trade-off between sort of long-range stability and still having intense responsiveness with it active. So yeah, so give it a shot, and as always, with any of the changes, if you run into any bugs or if you don't like something, feel free to stop by either the Reddit thread or the Steam community for the game and leave me your thoughts. Everything as is, being early access is in a constant state of revision and iteration. So yeah, have fun, and I will, and I can't believe I almost forgot this. I'm going to pop over to one other scene here. There we go, we're in the arcade scene. I almost forgot to mention this. I've added 2 extra wave sequences for you to try, especially because the one that's in here currently, the 30 wave sequence, is basically only possible using the infinite ammo gold mags or the laser swords. And I definitely wanted to make it so that if you just want to go real reload with all of the firearms, that you could still play this prototype and have a chance of getting through it. And so I've made 3 sequences here. The 30 waves is basically how it was before this week's update, and then we have a 10 and a 15 wave sequence that are more easy and intermediate for actually reloading. I definitely suggest grabbing your mags and spawn locking them to your chest so you've got a quick draw off the chest. And yeah, give it a shot. Let me know if you think it's too hard, too easy. I would love to know. So yeah, so have fun, guys, and I will see you next week. Peace.